event from the brand ranked #1 in initial quality by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. Hurry in today for great offers on quality Kia SUVs. And now get up to $4,000 cash back on a new 2017 Sorento.
Together, we'll make America great again. Thank you very much.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Welcome to viewers here in the United States and around the world. We continue following the breaking news this hour here on CNN, the devastating floods playing out in the U.S. state of Texas. I'm George Howell.
And I'm Rosemary Church. Torrential rain is barreling down along the coast, bringing catastrophic flooding to parts of the state.
Just consider what the U.S. National Weather Service is saying about this storm. They say it's, quote, beyond anything experienced before. And here's the kicker. They warn the worst may still be yet to come. At this point, more than 300,000 people are without power. Power outages expected to last several days now. Take a look at the city of Rockport, Texas. Devastation. You can see exactly how strong, powerful this Category 4 storm was when it came into Texas. Destruction where Harvey struck on Friday night. We understand that one person was killed in that town.
And another person was killed in the city of Houston after being swept away by floodwaters. Cars can be seen submerged and many roads are simply impassable at this point. Commercial flights in and out of Houston's two main airports have been halted. Meanwhile, frantic search and rescue operations are underway as the deadly floodwaters continue to rise. Around 3,000 National Guard members have been activated to help with the rescue efforts. U.S. President Donald Trump is scheduled to tour the devastation on Tuesday.
All right, so let's give you a look at what's happening in Houston, Texas right now. On the ground with us, our meteorologist, Derek Van Dam, live there in Houston. And Derek, it is the middle of the night there, midnight in the state of Texas, and all day you've been watching these rescues that have been playing out, and they continue through the night.
Yeah, absolutely, George. In fact, we joined the Harris County Precinct 1 constables on a search and rescue boat just a few hours ago when some of the heaviest rain that we have ever experienced was falling at that moment in time. And let me tell you, that was quite an experience. These brave men and women are going door to door across the Braes Bayou region. This is just south and west of the city center of Houston. The Braeswood community has flooded considerably, and we went out on this search and rescue mission with them. They have all kinds of obstacles to navigate tonight as these rescues are still ongoing. The water is rising quickly because of the recent rain that has come in within just a few hours. And the rapids, believe it or not, across some of these streets and roadways was intense. We had to navigate fully submerged SUVs, road signs, trees, fallen trees, lots of debris. And the water was up to close to some of the awnings of a one-story building. So that kind of paints the picture of what these people are navigating. They have rescued elderly, children, pets, adults, anything you can imagine. They are going door to door. They're getting tweets from residents pleading for help, pleading for support, and they are doing their best to answer those calls. And when we were on the boat with them, it was unfortunate because we were not able to cross one of the flooded roadways that was rushing so quickly. So they had to move on to the next rescue because that's all they could manage with the equipment that they had on hand. George?
Derek, look, so you're our meteorologist. Clearly, you know the science of this. You've been explaining that. You know the details, the particulars of what's happening there in Houston. But I want to ask you anecdotally, what has stood out to you, just of the people you've met, the places you've seen so far, any story that stood out to you?
I'll tell you what, I've been completely amazed by how the community has come together. I saw a man come up with his boat, a small dinghy, but it had a motor on it, and it had the ability to perform search and rescue operations. And he went to one of the chief constables in the Precinct 1 for Harris County and offered his boat for any search and rescue efforts that they needed. So I think it's just the community coming together and recognizing this disaster and doing what they can for each other, hugging each other and crying once they're rescued, because it's a tight-knit community. They all know each other. They're seeing their friends and family being rescued, and that's quite an emotional sight for them.
Derek Van Dam, live for us in Houston, Texas. Derek, thank you for the reporting.
And there are so many rescues happening. Hundreds of people hoping to get help, stranded in their homes. In many parts of Houston, the flooding was so bad, workers used boats to get residents to safety. And there were even residents of those communities using their own boats to help other residents, to help those in need.
The American Red Cross estimates that 1,800 people stayed in shelters across Texas on Saturday night. A number of rescue teams have been flown in to help with the disaster, and helicopters have been rescuing stranded people around the clock. The mayor of Houston, Texas, says that more than 1,000 people have been rescued across the metro area so far, though with so much destruction, many people are asking why there was never a mandatory evacuation ordered. So on Sunday, the mayor defended that decision. Listen.
The decision that we made was a smart one. It was in the best interest of Houstonians. It was the right decision in terms of their safety. And always we must put the interests of the city of Houston and Houstonians first. That's exactly what we did. Absolutely no regrets. We did what was the right thing to do, and we are acting according to the plan that we laid out.
Well, joining us now is Deirdre George. She is the Public Information Officer for the Texas Department of Transportation in the Houston District. Thank you so much for talking with us. Let's talk more about this discussion about whether a mandatory evacuation should have been ordered. You're with the Transport Department, so you would know how the transport system would have dealt with the more than 2 million people actually hitting the road and trying to get out. So is there a feeling that this was the right decision? I mean, you could second guess yourself either way, couldn't you?
Well, I can't speak on the mayor's orders decision to decide not to evacuate, but what I can say is we experienced a record-setting amount of rainfall in our Houston district, and there was not one freeway on our system that was not impacted by the rain. So I think the decision that the mayor made was a good decision, but what our message was basically trying to tell people to make sure that they were not on the roadways when the rain started, because once it came in, these roadways were going to be impacted, and they were going to be impacted very quickly.
And that's the problem, isn't it? So people then stayed in their homes, they hunkered down. These rescue efforts are continuing into the night, which is extraordinary. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, or actually it's just after midnight their central time. But talk to us now as we look at these pictures of the roads submerged now and so many vehicles submerged, what this is going to mean going forward for the transportation system there.
Oh, certainly. So as of now, we have over 332 high water locations on our freeway system. So what that means is that it is very difficult, if not impossible, to get through a lot of freeways on our system. And so what that means is we are trying to tell people to stay inside. Let emergency personnel get to you. Do not attempt to get out, especially now. It's dark outside. The event is not over. Don't be lulled into a false sense of hope that the rain has stopped and now is the time to get out. It's not. The water keeps on rising, and the high water locations do as well.
That is very important. We'll get that message out for people to stay put. Do not move out of your homes. Of course, any rescue that's needed will be done going forward. Deirdre, George, thank you so much for joining us from the Department of Transportation in the Houston District. Many thanks. Well, officials say many emergency phone calls are going unanswered as operators try to give preference to life-threatening calls, but they are struggling to keep up.
One reporter was describing the situation earlier when he saw people being airlifted to safety. Take a look at this.
As the sun goes down, of course, the need just becomes even more because these people don't have any electricity right now. They are in the dark. When it gets pitch black outside it's going to be pitch black inside. And I don't know what other medical situations that they have, but look, they're flashing the light. I think they probably want us to maybe get one of those people that's up there. We could take you guys if you need. An elderly sick person? Yeah, bring 2 handicapped. 2 sick and disabled and 2 in wheelchairs right now on the top of that roof. I have no idea how they got them on top of that roof. Yeah. Yes, we're going to try to get closer. She wants us to get closer right now. Yes, we're going to get closer. You guys can bring them down to the boat. We're moving them slowly and obviously very difficult because he said he has a pacemaker on his left-hand side near his heart. So we're going to have to steer clear of that, obviously. And I'm going to try and get him on the ledge here so we can have him sit down and then we're going to take him off. But this just shows you how critical these patients are, how critical these people are. They need the help right now. There's just not enough boats. There's not enough helicopters. There's not enough first responders, obviously, to get every single person. As you heard, there's 300 people in this apartment complex. A lot of them need the help here because they're elderly. Some of them obviously have medical conditions that they need to be on dry land.
There, we were watching and listening to a KTRK local reporter there in Houston, Texas, as that rescue operation was playing out. And of course, he spotted those people on the roof. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is incredible. Let's bring in now our meteorologist, Karen McGinnis, on exactly where this storm is going, the people that are being impacted right now. Karen, what can you tell us?
All right, we take a look at different computer models, and this one happens to be the European model, but I will tell you the North American model, and that's all these computer-generated ideas, the scientific ideas about where the system is headed. If we can put this into motion, we've got it moving towards the south, back out over the Gulf of Mexico, picking up that deep tropical moisture. You can pause it right there, Michael. He is a producer tonight and meteorologist. And this is where we're looking at yet another bullseye of precipitation. It's going to be heavy again. Another round of very heavy rainfall, and then it shifts a little bit further towards the north and towards the east. I want to back up a little bit and just show you this broad view. This is where we've got some of the flood warnings out. This is Harris County. I know this looks kind of blurry, but where you see all these red shaded areas, these red exclamation points, that's where the water has topped the road, topped the bayou, topped the creek, and there are hundreds of these all across Harris County. That's just Harris County. Now, I talked about this in the past hour. Take a look at this video. It's in black and white. It's obviously a Houston video. Look at this vehicle in the water. The water is rising up the windshield. There's a man standing behind his vehicle here. This is an SUV. This is not a small vehicle. Then a dinghy comes in, a small motorized boat. They load the man into the dinghy. There you can kind of see that. Now, this is taking place at night. It looks as if this is near I-10 and Katy. Katy is just about 30 minutes drive to the west of Houston, Texas. It looks to be that that man was safe, but that's happening over and over and over, not just in Harris County, but in all these other counties surrounding the Houston area. Pretty much along that interstate, that corridor of I-10, and then further to the south. But I'm not saying that those are the only places. Certainly it is not, but thousands upon thousands of people. All right, this is the broader view, and there you can see some of these feeder bands right at Houston. right smack at Houston. The ground is saturated. It's oversaturated. There's more water to be had. How much more water? We could see an additional 10 inches of rain. Certainly that is possible. We zoom in. There you can see a heavier band right along that northern edge of the Trinity and the Galveston Bay area. A little bit of a break further to the south, but don't be lulled into a false sense of security. How about some of the rainfall totals so far? Well, there you can see almost 27 inches of rain, and we're not finished wet yet. We go until the end of the work week. Guys, we'll be here in the Weather Center for you.
Okay, Karen.
Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. We'll take a short break, but coming up, much more on the catastrophic flooding in Texas. We will speak to one woman who's still stranded with her 6 children in Houston.
Journey where this path may lead, and live as big as giants. Summer sun and feeling free, sparkle just like diamonds.
Let the capability of Jeep Cherokee guide you to a new level of freedom this summer. Get into your Jeep dealer today to check out the official vehicles of summer.
Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Jeep Cherokee Latitude Plus 4x4 for $219 a month.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
Friskies World.
Hey, what's in there?
Oh, is that a crunchy kibble?
Is that a ring of gravy?
It's gravy made crunchy. New Friskies Gravy Swirlers.
Real gravy baked right in.
Crunchy gravy.
We get it, buddy. We get it.
Feed their fantasy.
No splashing! Wait, so you got rid of Verizon just like that?
I switched to T-Mobile, kept my phone, everything on it. Oh, I even paid it off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice that every bad decision doesn't have to be permanent.
Ditch Verizon, keep your phone. We'll even pay it off when you switch to America's best unlimited network.
As King Midas, I expect a lifetime guarantee. And so should you. On struts, brakes, shocks.
Does he turn everything to gold?
Not everything.
At Midas, we're always a touch better. Book an appointment at Midas.com.
Do you know that L'Oreal actually invented hair color? So who better to care for it?
Color Vibrancy Hair Care from L'Oreal protects color-treated hair and keeps it vibrant for up to 60 days with an antioxidant and UV filter. Color Vibrancy from L'Oreal Paris.
Let's see. There's the Wildcats Till We Die Weekenders. The Watch Me Let It Fly. This I Gotta Try Weekenders. Then we've got the Bendy Spendy Weekenders. The Tranquility Awaits. Hanging with Our Mates Weekenders. And the It's Been Quite a Day, So Glad We Got Away Weekenders.
Whatever kind of weekender you are, there's a Hilton for you.
Book your weekend break direct at Hilton.com and join the Weekenders. It's happening.
It's happening.
In the modern world, you can control just about anything with an app.
Your son is turning on all the lights again.
And with the eSurance mobile app, you can do the same thing with your car insurance. Like access your ID card, file a claim, or manage your policy. It's so easy, it's almost scary.
Get out of here!
That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. eSurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Who says a pool can't be in the sky? Who says a living room can't be in a pool? Who says a 5-star luxury vacation can't be all-inclusive? Sandals La Source Grenada takes innovations beyond the realm of imagination. Experience the sandals of tomorrow today. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Declassified. Saturday nights at 9 on CNN.
Closed captioning brought to you by OnlyMeso.com.
Mesothelioma, it's all we do. With 7 offices across the country, let us come meet with you. Call us at 1-800-213-8000.
Throughout the Houston metropolitan area, hundreds of people will be spending the night away from their own homes, away from their own beds, and they'll be sleeping on cots at the Houston Convention Center.
Now, one of several places opened by the Mayor of Houston as shelters for those escaping the floodwaters. Many of the people arriving at the George R. Brown Convention Center are from a public housing complex about a mile north.
So we've been showing you all these images. You've heard these stories from so many people. The flooding there in South and East Texas has been catastrophic. The U.S. National Weather Service calls it, quote, unprecedented. But the worst may still be yet to come. Another 50 inches of rain, that's more than 120 centimeters of rain, could fall in the next few days.
Harvey hit the Gulf Coast of Texas Friday as a major hurricane. At least 2 people have died. Rescue operations have saved thousands of people from their flooded homes, but many are still stranded with floodwaters continuing to rise. And thousands of people in Houston are still trapped in the rising floodwaters, waiting for rescue workers to come and get them.
Officials and regular citizens have been using their own boats to save people and get them to safety. Our Brian Todd hitched a ride with one of those private rescuers.
Take a look at this. This is the entrance to the lobby, and you're witnessing a rescue live. We just went over here by boat. They're pulling people out of the Omni Hotel. Look at how deep the water is. It's to people's thighs. And here's a group of people being pulled onto the boat right now. We can hear. This is Brian Meadows, one of the rescuers. His partner, Seth Roberts, is here in the green shirt. They're helping people get onto the boat. Maybe we'll be able to talk to them. Now, listen, guys, we've been at the staging area where they've launched these boats for the last hour and a half to 2 hours, and there have been several people pulled out and taken to those areas and then shuttled to safety in other hotels. These people here have elected to come. We are told that some people are electing to stay at the Omni Hotel, even though the water, as you can see, is to people's, basically past people's knees, and we're told that it's rising. You can see in the lobby there, I can see a staircase where the water is going up the staircase a little bit. Water is rising. We are getting a bit of a break in the rainfall right now. It has not rained for, I'd say, at least 45 minutes. And but they continue to pull people out. We're told that between 60 and 80 people were stranded inside here. The hotel staff has kept everyone calm. They said that people can stay for as long as they want. Again, some people have elected to stay. Some people have not. Ma'am, hi. Can you tell us what your name is, please?
Marion Washington.
Marion, describe what the conditions are like in there.
They're bad. They're bad. The whole lobby is flooded, and but we're associates. So.
You work here, or?
Yes.
Okay. So, what's the hotel doing to, I guess, make people comfortable? And some people are actually staying, correct?
I'm not sure. All I know is they're trying to make us comfortable, rescuing us and taking us to the other hotel.
All right. Good luck.
Brian Todd there, and many families escaping Harvey have turned to emergency shelters. Here's more on that from Bill Spencer with affiliate KPRC.
Again, I've got some heartwarming pictures to show you. The people that are so glad that they have got shelter and food, and they are dry right now. Look at this family that just laid down to go to sleep here, a mother and father and their 2 children. We have a father over here with his 2 beautiful daughters right here. People here at Dobie High School are sprawled out all over every square inch of floor that you can find, and that's where they are making their home tonight. This is all they have to go to, but they seem to be in pretty good spirits. Look at this family over here. If you take a walk with me, they've got a place set up for the child, for the baby. All the kids are together. They've made their own makeshift bedding, and they were a little while ago telling stories, bedtime stories, and with puppets. I don't know if you can see that family over there, but it's kind of heartwarming to see something soft and warm on what has been such a horrible few days here.
On the phone with us right now to talk more about what's happening in Houston is Alan Blinder. He is a reporter with the New York Times on the ground there in Houston. Alan, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, what part of the city are you in right now, and what's stood out to you so far?
So I'm along Interstate 610 right now over by a major shopping area called Meyerland Plaza, and I've spent most of the day out here watching rescues. I've seen rescues by helicopter, I've seen rescues by boat, I've seen Rescuers toss lines into the floodwaters to pull people in. And I cannot tell you how many people have been rescued just on this stretch of interstate alone, but it is well into the hundreds.
Rescues are the story right now. There are so many people taking dramatic risks, but doing the thing, taking matters into their own hands. Talk to us about that. These people who are, in these neighborhoods who have boats available, who just get into those boats and then start pulling off these rescues themselves.
Yeah, we've seen a number of people who really brought an armada, if you will. They came from other parts of the city or suburbs sometimes, bringing their own boats, showing up and just popping them in the water and riding around, looking for people to bring back. They come back, they're greeted by members of the National Guard, they're taken to shelters and other places in the city. But it's really been a joint effort, a very improvised effort of emergency officials as well as private citizens trying to figure out how to get through what has all the makings of an enormous catastrophe for the nation's fourth largest city.
Is there still a sense that there are many other people who are still trapped in their homes, who can't get out? And what's the situation with that water? Do you get a sense it's still on the rise?
It's going to keep rising. I mean, the forecast for the next few days calls for more rain. We expect to see much more rain. It is absolutely pouring right now where I am in Houston. And there is a sense that there are more people out there who desperately need assistance. We don't know how many of them, obviously. The city of Houston did not call for an evacuation before the storm, and we don't know how many people have left before the storm. So it's really a significant question right now about how many people may still need to be rescued in this city.
We've heard some complaints from people who say, if I'd heard the warning, if I'd been told directly, get out of town, I would have done that. So talk to us just a bit more about what you're hearing from the city, the reason that they did not order a mandatory evacuation of people.
The fact is that Hurricane Harvey came up very, very quickly. It reformed as a major tropical system only in the last few days. So there wasn't a whole lot of lead time associated with this storm and its power and its consequences. I mean, it only became a Category 4 storm not terribly long before landfall. So there's going to be a lot of debate to follow here in Houston about what should have happened in the run-up to the storm, and that will probably take many, many months to debate and talk through.
Alan Blinder is a reporter with the New York Times in Houston, giving us a sense of what he has seen today. Alan, thank you so much for the reporting. We'll keep in touch with you and wish you safety.
Great. Thanks very much.
Just a footnote to share with our viewers. We mentioned just moments ago that we planned to speak with a mother of 6 stranded in her home to tell us about what she's dealing with tonight. But Shay Mendoza, she sent us video. I want to show you the video. This is a sense of what's happening around her neighborhood, the video she took in front of her home. Now, I said we plan to speak with her, but we're unable to reach her by phone at this point. It could be that power is out, or it could be that she lost power to her phone. Whatever the case, we just want to make sure that, hope Shay is doing okay. We'll continue to try to reach her, and hopefully we can share her story with you.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, we're going to take a very short break. But still to come, a group of military veterans is stepping up to help the victims of this storm. We'll speak to a member of Team Rubicon about the dangerous conditions on the ground. We'll be back in just a moment.
At Whole Foods Market, we believe in food that's naturally beautiful and fresh, delicious and powerful, and full of nutrients. So there are no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives, and no artificial sweeteners in any of the food we sell. We believe that the food we eat connects us to the natural world and to each other. We believe in real food. Whole Foods Market.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
See if you're eligible to pay no more than $10 a month